Maybe you have already lost a girl in your life that you really loved. A girl with whom you thought everything would fit. You were in your masculine role, and she was in her feminine one. You complemented each other perfectly and the non-verbal energies between you flowed smoothly. Yet somehow it slipped away from you. One day you woke up and realized that everything had changed. Her eyes no longer lit up when she looked at you. Realizing that can be incredibly painful, and you don't wish that on anyone. In this video, I will explain to you why this girl lost her attraction towards you, even though she could hardly keep her hands off you in the beginning. What I'm about to explain to you is a not too uncommon pitfall that many men encounter at some point in their lives. If something like this has already happened to you, you will understand a lot in the next few minutes. If you haven't had such an experience, this video may save you from it entirely. It all starts when you meet this one girl. You may even have good basic knowledge about female psychology and red pill. It may not have been your intention to take this girl too seriously. She may have even come into your life and done all the work of making connections for you. You may not even plan to invest into her emotionally, but you take the delicious food when it's in front of you on the table, even though you wouldn't have cooked it yourself, perhaps. You spend more and more time with her, and although you may hold back emotionally, you objectively recognize her high value. She makes it easy for you, organizes meetings, shares your interests, and behaves well in your presence. She lets you live out your masculine role and she lives out her feminine role. You are in charge, and she is your companion. She follows your commands, and you are always the center of her attention. You can do no wrong when you are with her, and any of your bad character traits are taken by her as positive ones. You love her attention and what you can do with her and her body. She submits to you, and you like that because you have been in the socially inferior role all too often in your life. You finally feel like you're getting what you deserve. Most men are addicted to female affection, and the male ego has no limits. You devote more and more of your time and emotions to her because you love the feeling she gives you. Everything else in your life suddenly has a boring aftertaste. Nothing gives you the same dopamine rush as her undivided attention. To get it more often, you change the priorities in your life and start neglecting other things more and more. At first, she rewards your behavior and big investments into her. The bond between the two of you becomes stronger and stronger, and you find yourself more and more in a bubble with her. Both of you against the rest of the world. Because of the great emotional investments and time spent together, you miss her a lot when you don't see each other. You've grown accustomed to her affection, and by now you need it to be all right. Through all the time with her, you have become more and more isolated from your options, like other potential partners, but also friends and family. You may be aware of this, but you don't think you need other girls in your life because you really love her with all your heart. The fear of losing her makes you suppress your desires for other people. You gradually begin to accept isolation. You do this because receiving the love and devotion of a beautiful woman is the strongest and most powerful feeling a man can experience. You are her superhero, and she adores you. You can fully express yourself and be the absolute alpha for the first time in your life. You can dominate her physically and do things with her that you only know from adult movies and your imagination. However, the whole thing also has its downsides. You realize again and again that your frame outside this bubble is not as strong as you convince yourself. In many life situations with other people, you are not the alpha you pretend to be in front of her and think you reflect in all other areas of your life. Realizing this hurts your ego, and you escape even further into the bubble with her where you are the god, and she is your servant. Yet you notice the negative effects of the whole game. You know you're running away from yourself and it's nagging at you. You need her for your self-esteem, and it is poisoning you. You are her caged pet, and she is starting to feel that too. She has tamed your strength and masculinity, and became a part of your identity. You are now in an unbelievably bad position because you can't leave her, you need her. She became indispensable to your world because she is now a part of it. You have lost yourself deeply in idealistic love for her, and you think that she feels the same way. This is where the tables slowly begin to turn. She realizes more and more how much you need her for your self-worth, and she subconsciously wonders why that is. She begins to question your alpha frame that you have built up in front of her and also her own value. She asks herself the question, why does this alpha man need me for his self-esteem? I am just a confused little girl myself. She starts testing you subconsciously, and you fail some of these tests. In the process, she becomes more and more extreme to find your limits. She desperately hopes for counter-winds to her feminine drama. She hopes for the reaction of a strong alpha to put her in place, but you're already lost and can't stand the pressure. You need her too much to play along with this game. You start backing down in argument situations because it hurts you when she distances herself, but that only makes things worse. She starts building a new subconscious image of you. You are now a weak man in her eyes. The real power of a woman lies in the giving and withdrawing of her affection. First subtly, then a little less subtly, she begins to communicate her need to do things outside of the relationship. She no longer feels fulfilled by your sole presence in her life. The challenge to tame the wild bull is over because you were always there and invested all your time into her. She starts to distance herself more and more, to do activities without you and to build new circles of friends. Furthermore, she starts to criticize you and your actions. At first subtly, but then more clearly. It happens in small steps. More and more she starts to question your opinions and to lose hope in your masculine leadership. Her subconscious, which is very primitive, cannot be satisfied by your visible weakness and neediness. She feels your disillusioned, idealistic love, and this turns her off incredibly. She loved you because she saw you above her, in your value. Now she feels more and more that her value is greater than yours, and she has fallen for an illusion. She can't control her repulsion, and her subconscious starts to realize that. She asks herself, how can he be my best option when he needs me so much? That must mean she's worth more than you, and she begins to see the green grass on the other side of the fence. Now that she knows you love her idealistically, the relationship is fragile. You may still manage to maintain this dynamic for some time, however, your relationship is now vulnerable to external influences. She may meet an alpha at work, or she may be approached by coincidence. Her single girlfriends introduce her to a life with more freedom and independence. She sees her single friends having fun and enjoying their lives, while she's stuck in a relationship she's not really interested in anymore. She's building a life and a social network out of your reach that will catch her when she leaves you. Don't get me wrong, she doesn't do all this consciously. It is subconscious protective mechanisms that are at work here. In the red pill, this phenomenon is called branch swinging, where the woman, like a monkey in the jungle, doesn't let go of the old branch until he can grab a new one, so he doesn't fall down. The girl ends the relationship only after a new one is available, or a social network is there to catch her. This is also fairly easy explained biologically in evolutionary terms. Women had to behave this way in primal days because they didn't have much chance of survival on their own. She now starts spending more and more time with friends and family and stops bringing you with her everywhere. You find yourself at home while she is out partying. One day a big argument breaks out. You are frustrated with her behavior and rebellion against you. She is no longer the girl you fell in love with. In last desperation, you confront her. All you want is a reaction. You just want to see that she still cares about you. At this point, you don't know what else to do and you get loud and aggressive. It hurts too much to see how everything has changed. After all the drama, she now goes to her friends and tells them what a controlling boyfriend you are. The same friends you've never liked and who you've always seen as a threat to your relationship. They talk her into finally breaking away from you. That was too easy for her. The girl and the relationship you were invested in for months slipped away from you in the blink of an eye. She flipped her mental switches seemingly overnight and reprogrammed you as a nobody. The law of the well-known psychologist Briffault has proven true once again. You are only as valuable as you can make the woman feel in the present moment. Your shared history and past investments are irrelevant. She is a creature of the moment. Women are slaves to their present emotions. Your attempts to rebuild the attraction fail miserably. She is ice cold and no longer the girl you once knew. Your self-confidence begins to crumble. This was a girl who was once your love slave, and now she doesn't even talk to you. This is the toughest experience a proud man can go through. In retrospect, you begin to realize the red flags. Things that your proud ego did not allow you to see at that time. Your ego made you believe that she would never leave you. The truth is that you broke the rules of attraction. This is also easily explained in biological terms. In caveman times, where our programming comes from, it was the case that if the man neglects the role of protector, and thus no longer cares about fighting dangers and acquiring resources, but invests all his energy into her instead, the probability of the woman's and her offspring's survival decreases. The woman wants to join your purpose, she doesn't want to be your whole purpose. You thought the rules didn't apply to you and you paid for it severely. Be careful not to make that mistake ever again. Don't let your ego fool you.